Mosaic, a daily news program from Link TV, presents a selection of news reports from independent and state-controlled broadcasters from throughout the Middle East.
His Majesty King Abdullah held talks with the Libyan leader Muammar al-Gaddafi in Tripoli that dealt with the latest developments in the region as well as bilateral relations between the two countries. The Libyan leader held an iftar banquet in honor of His Majesty and the accompanied delegation, which included the Prime Minister, Minister of the Royal Court and the King's private advisor. Earlier in the day, His Majesty has called at the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, which has become a model of excellence and success in the country that helped in placing Jordan as an IT hub in the region. During the visit, King Abdullah stressed that organized institutionalized work depends on the team spirit that will open doors for creativities to continue the process of development. The King was briefed on the various projects and initiatives carried out by the ministry, which include the e-government, educational initiative, fiber optic networks, as well as partnerships with the regional and international companies. 4 Iraqi National Guards were killed and up to 80 others wounded in a mortar attack on their base at Qarmiya, north of Baghdad. Also in Baghdad, a U.S. contractor was killed and 7 others wounded, among them a U.S. soldier in a mortar bomb attack on their camp. Later in the day, a roadside bomb exploded near a U.S. convoy on the road between Fallujah and Ramadi. Meanwhile, U.S. and Iraqi forces surrounded the town of Dilwiya, north of Baghdad, raiding homes and arresting dozens of suspected insurgents. 3 people were killed in the raids. Britain said it's very sympathetic to the United States' request for troops to be switched from their base near Basra to fill in for American combat groups in Iraq. British Foreign Secretary Jack Straw, speaking at a joint press conference with UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, said he hoped those opposed to the controversial move would have their concerns eased once they realized it was designed to pave the way for a more stable Iraq. 5 Palestinians were killed by Israeli troops in gun battles in various parts of Gaza and the West Bank. 2 were shot dead in Beit Hanun, north of Gaza Strip. In a third shootout, another Palestinian was killed and an Israeli soldier wounded. While in Khan Yunis, 3 Palestinians, among them 2 children, were wounded by Israeli gunfire while they were inside their house. The UN Security Council called on Syria to withdraw its 14,000 troops from Lebanon and for Secretary General Kofi Annan to report on any progress twice a year. The United States and France, in an effort to keep up the pressure on Syria, drew up a policy statement read at a formal meeting to bolster the September 2nd resolution demanding that troops be withdrawn. Syria, meanwhile, described the new request as serious unprecedented interference by the UN in its internal affairs. And finally, Her Majesty Queen Rania has held an iftar banquet at Basman Palace that was attended by members of the royal family as well as wives of senior government officials.